The F.A.M.E. Film, Art, Music, and Entertainment Summit podcast, and we have a special guest, Enosense. Let them know what the deal is.
What's happening, y'all? This your boy, Enosense. Y'all know who I be. You see me all the time.
So we're here to talk about Minnesota and the creative ecosystem that we have here. Mm-hmm. So we know we have the F.A.M.E. Summit coming up, and we just want to kind of highlight some of the things that we're going to talk about, and we want to get feedback from people on some of the things they want to hear. So introduce yourself to the people. Let them know kind of a little bit about your background.
Well, my name is Enosense, man, from South Minneapolis. You know what I mean? I grew up over South, you know what I mean? I'm a Minneapolis kid, you know what I mean? Started out with music ambitions, you know what I mean? We all did at one point, but, you know, certain situations prohibited that from happening. And started out, got into a good barber career, man, and been cutting for a long time. You know, I'm real nice with them clippers, and it was just like about 3.5, 4 years ago that I decided to get into comedy. You know what I mean? Just on the bed too, man. It was funny, but I decided to get into comedy, and then once I got into comedy, it just opened so many doors for me as far as like comedy, hosting, acting, and I'm just on my way right now. Just I'm experiencing this journey, and this journey is crazy.
So let's talk about the comedy a little bit. So what do you feel like is the big, because that's already a difficult field to go, and that's one of the hardest fields in entertainment to go into. Mm-hmm. So what do you feel like has been some of the challenges being a comedian in Minnesota?
Man, bro, see, my experience, okay, I'm going to give you the Enosense experience. The Enosense experience is I came into the game of comedy, and I sat back and I studied the people that's been doing it. You know what I mean? The people that's been doing it before me, and much respect to them. And when I came in, I always posed this question to myself, like, man, I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to do comedy that way. I don't want to get up on the stage and say the same jokes in a routine. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? And a lot of comedians kind of like shun me for that, because they're like, oh, you think he better or this and that, but it's not really that. It's just me trying to find me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find, how can I entertain when I get on this stage? How can I entertain all these people out here and make them laugh? It don't have to be a set regime or routine or whatever. It's how can I get the most out of these people experience? You see what I'm saying? So for me, I just see myself, I'm just an all over the board cat, you know what I mean? I talk about whatever I feel like. That's why my name Enosense, you know what I mean? I don't have no sense as far as like I'm not gonna do your norm. I'm not gonna do the norm. I'm always gonna go left if everybody's going right. And I've been that way my life. So
do you feel like there's a lot of support here for comedians, especially being a black comedian? Do you feel like there's venues for you to exercise and work out in? Do you feel like the crowds are segregated? Do you feel like they're diverse? Like what are some of the challenges when it comes to support?
For the most part, bro, to be totally honest, Minnesota is really diverse as far as like experiencing comedy. Like comedy is everywhere in Minnesota. People don't even know it. But there's a lot of rooms here. Like there's a lot of places to display your comedy. You know what I mean? Whether it's a all black crowd, a white crowd, or whatever, a mixture. There's plenty of opportunity. But as far as the support part, I feel like that part right there is kind of phony and diluted. You know what I mean? Because everybody's like, I know you understand this concept. It's about what they can get. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a support if you come into my show and then you ask, can you get on stage? And then you find out you can't get on stage, and then you leave. Like, did you really come to support me? You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. You know what I mean? So as far as the support part, I don't think it's more so of support. It's more so of what everybody can get from one another. And that's what causes that fake support. And that's why we find ourselves like battling up against each other instead of like joining together and making a Voltron where we can have one big comedy room where everybody's coming out of there and going on to be successful. You know what I mean? So it's good that we have diversity rooms, but at one point you got to have a powerhouse, at least one, because we don't got one. We don't have one powerhouse stage where African-American comedians can come and just dominate and get the shows that's worth something. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like the low budget shows or the comedians that's going down in their career. You know what I mean? Let them get some headline events. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we don't really get that like that here. Like it's more of the smile in your face, but your handshake ain't matching your smile type of vibe that I get in my little short time in comedy. And I've done a lot of shows and I've brushed elbows with a lot of comedians, but that's just my opinion on that.
So with the F.A.M.E Summit, once again, it stands for Film, Art, Music, and Entertainment. I am bringing people from the industry from all over the country to come to Minnesota to kind of speak and help our creative ecosystem understand the game, to explain their journeys on how they got in the game, and just networking is a big thing. Yeah. A lot of them just work together. A lot of them collaborated. So when you speak on, having a platform here in Minnesota, when you speak on the support, people showing up, maybe seeing one comedian, and then instead of enjoying the rest of the show, they just leave immediately. I think that would be a great value to people to come see and hear some of these stories about how these people stayed down with who they were down with, and that's really what helped propel them to get into the industry, is having their crew and everybody kind of being able to, expand their careers. Exactly. So with that being said, do you feel like the comedian community here is cliquish? Oh
man, you know that, man. I'm probably spilling the laundry, y'all, but I have to. I'm a realist. Hell yeah, it's cliquish, bro. It's straight cliquish. Everybody want to click up, bro. Everybody's feel like, oh man, we're gonna start this and we're gonna dominate this, and it's nothing wrong with it. I understand that everybody want to form them a nice team and be strong, but the problem that we have is with that clicking stuff is that when you click, now you're like separating yourself, and now your agenda has changed. In my opinion, your agenda went from everybody, let's get on and let's eat and let's politic and let's do shows together, and now it's like I'm in competition with you now. You know what I mean? Now it's like, oh man, I got to big up this brother. Now we got to stay 2 steps ahead of them. You see what I mean? It just changed the culture of it, and so the clicking, it can happen, but it's like a real thin line, you know what I mean, as far as like the tread. Like, are you clicking or are you supporting and coming together as forming a support team? You know what I mean? That's a little bit different. That I think that you should approach it that way. Like, we gonna form a team, not no, oh man, we rowdy squad from the low ends. You know what I'm saying? It's just a team of individuals with the same perspective and the same vision to go the same place. You know what I mean? And then you'll have an equal opportunity and nobody be looking upside your head in competition. You know what I mean? Because we all have the same agenda. We want to eat, and we're going to put in the equal work to eat together. You know what I mean?
So what are some things that you feel like would be of value to help kind of change that and to bring people together?
And, I mean, in my personal opinion, bro, to change it is that platform, to have that platform that, like, right now we're scratching it and fighting for a platform. You know what I mean? Like, we see one event, a person probably ain't gonna tell another brother in desperate hopes that he can keep that to himself type of situation. You know what I'm saying? So we once we establish a main platform, like a forefront, like, you know how you go to the big cities, they got like Rick Bronson's House of Comedy. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got one of those. Like, when can we get us a such and such Blase Skippy, boom, where when you go there, you're going to see the best of us and just comedy, period. You see what I'm saying? Like, we need one of those, and until you create one of those, it's always going to be the every man for himself, like, fight to get to where he needs to be at situations, because it's not available like that. You know what I mean? So I understand the mentality, but I believe that a collective mind will get the job done way far faster than an individual. You know what I'm saying? So if we get a platform, bro, just like one establishment that will remain open and don't close after a year, you know what I'm saying? Don't close after 2 years. And if it get in financial trouble, everybody come together to save that mug. You know what I'm saying? Like, those type of establishments where they can showcase themselves, and I believe it'll take away from that cutthroatish.
Yeah. So I would say I agree with everything you said, and I think one of the issues and part of the reason why I came up with the F.A.M.E Summit is that people don't have the information on how to get on. Obviously, as a whole, people have different agendas. Some people are promoters trying to be comedians. Some people are comedians trying to be promoters. And they're more so following the bag than the passion. If you follow your passion, the bag will come if you're good at it, right? Exactly. And I think with the summit, people will get real information on how to move forward in their careers. They'll get, we have an entertainment lawyer attending so people can learn how to handle the business side of the things they do. We're going to have on-site professional headshots. And like I said, we have Emmy Award-winning filmmakers. We have Grammy Award-winning singers. We have people who have written hit songs. Beyonce's writers coming to teach about songwriting. So there's a lot of opportunity. And I think, I've been working with different people in the Twin Cities period on the political side as well, just on the government side. And on the corporate side, trying to get them all involved because all of them say they want to support the arts here. They want to support creatives. They want to support entrepreneurship. They want to support small business. And a lot of times they don't know exactly how to do that. And I literally sent an email. I won't say his name, but I literally sent an email out earlier and just said, hey, part of the way you support the creatives is you support the platforms that are being created. It's our job to give you a platform to spread the information of what you're trying to help with. Wow. And it's your job to support the people who are actually creating those opportunities. And they emailed me right back and they said, we're speaking with our team. We want to be involved. So I'm putting myself out there to get these things done for our creative community so that we can get to the next level. I've done things in Hollywood, almost every major state or city that I've traveled to, I've been able to achieve things really quick. Exactly. And part of that is because the hustle is so difficult here in Minnesota that we almost overcompensate. And so when we go out of state, opportunities come way easier. We're already kind of more interesting just because people are like, oh, Minnesota, what's that like? Then when they see the talent, they're like, oh, we'll rock with you. Yeah. Where here, it's just not like that, unfortunately. People in high positions or gatekeepers, they will tell you, get on somewhere else and then we'll mess with you here. And like I said, on the government side, they're like, hey, we want, like, I had literally somebody be like, please don't leave. Wow. We need more creatives. And I just was honest with them and I said, all of our creatives are leaving because they need more opportunities. I said, you guys are creating opportunities, but how they don't know about them. They don't know. So I invited them to actually come speak at the summit, and if they're interested. If they actually do, then I'll announce who I'm talking about and all that type of stuff. I don't want to put out there prematurely. Awesome, but like I said, come speak at the summit and let people know what the options are and what you're supporting and how they can get grants and resources and funding and all these type of things. And this is a great platform for it, right? So, what are some things you would like to see and experience? What would you like to get out of the summit?
Man, I'm coming to the summit. It's almost like I'm trying to deprogram myself before I even get there. I'm trying to like wipe my slate so clean because what I'm trying to do is not only put myself in a position to network with the people in the positions where I'm trying to be at, you know what I mean? Not only just that, but also to make those connections and with those people that's around me already, you know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully the people that's trying to do the things that I'm envisioning in my path right now, hopefully those people will show up to the summit, you know what I mean? And I'll be able to be in the same proximity of them, brushing elbows with the same people, expressing the same ideas, you see what I'm saying? Like, that would just work out and be so awesome if it fell that way. But by me, what I want to take from it, bro, I want to take from it just all the knowledge of expansion, all the knowledge of creativity, and all the knowledge of availability. Availability. If I believe this, you don't even have to have all the talent, but if you know what's available in all situations, you'll be better off than the average person. I believe that. Just knowing what's available, because that's 9 times out of 10 why we losing, because we don't know what's there. We don't know either our history or whether it's finance, whether it's or how to manage a bank account. If you know, then you got a fair chance to fight the battle. But if you don't know, you just gonna get slapped up, whether it's life or whatever. So yeah. I'm just coming as an open sponge and hoping to receive everything that's going to allow me to not only put out a good energy, but also to see that energy permeate into a whole lot of other stuff.
Yeah. And kind of the last thing that I want to just make sure everybody gets, this is an opportunity to network, not only with the people that I'm bringing, but this is an opportunity to network with each other. Yeah. And for some people, they're going to be like, that's kind of corny. I ain't come here to network with that. No. Anybody who comes to the summit, they paid, they came, they showed up, they took the time to be there, is somebody that's serious about what they're trying to do. And you never know who you're going to meet and who's going to be that missing link to your team, that what you're trying to do. I was speaking to a social media influencer earlier about the summit, and we were talking and we were on the same page, but I was telling him, I'm like, you shoot a lot of your stuff yourself. You may come to the summit and meet somebody and be like, hey, what brought you to the summit? And they're like, oh, I'm a film student. I go to the Art Institute, or I go to, IPR, whatever it may be. And they're like, I love this stuff. And they might recognize him because he's already, gone viral a couple times, and be like, I'm down to shoot your stuff for my portfolio. So it's a great opportunity to network with each other. Like I said, I'm creating opportunities for people to network and meet the people that I'm bringing.
Man, they don't understand how big this is, bro.
Like, I mean, this has never been done before here.
They're gonna get it because it's spreading like wildfire. Like, if you see all the people that's talking about it, it's crazy. And I love the enthusiasm being shown by everybody. And I just hope that they do show up and purchase the ticket or whatever to be there. But bro, it's so big. Like you said, there's never been a platform this big for us to network out of so many avenues in entertainment and everything. You see what I mean? And film and arts. It's just like, man, if you trying to do anything in life and it dictates to be a part of any of those entities, you have to be there. You have to.
Yeah. Sounds good. But once again, it's your host, Mike J, F.A.M.E. Summit Podcast, and we out.
We out, y'all.
How would you describe yourself?
It took my whole life to become who I always said I was going to be.